Hot mix. I ain't see we mix anything.
See, they come in here.
Say,
They were here. So you see,
Well,
they
then
coming in
he
hot.
needs to
That's
man
cat. So
up
that's
and
cat. That's
get
cat. Government name
that
is Andrew
job.
Williams.
What?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it.
Cat is Andrew Williams?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Jay John says. What is.
All right.
You back?
You're in now.
We in now. Man, all right. This one was long. So, let's see if we can do this. Take 3. Oh, and that's not the other people's sign. Take
Oh, please, Jason. All right.
3.
Okay.
No, how you can do this? 3. 3. All right, take 3. So, God, we can hear that background. Welcome to Let's Talk.
Again.
For the third time. And here at Let's Talk, we like to talk about issues that matter to you. Where we try to come up with workable, practical solutions where we have more action and less talk.
Yes.
I'm your host, Jason, with my co-host.
Still Cheryl.
She's still Cheryl. Even after that long time and all that technical difficulties,
Yes.
she's still Cheryl. So, it feels good to be back in studio. I've been gone quite a while and I didn't know what to do, how to handle myself, saying all kind of foolish things, don't know. And I mean, the sound system even don't even know how to welcome me back,
you.
right?
Mm-hmm. I think it's you, Jason.
It could be. It could be. I can take that. I got broad shoulders. It could be me.
Mm-hmm.
So tonight we're going to carry on a conversation that you guys started last week.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it was so nice, and Cheryl didn't get everything off her chest, so she's definitely got some stuff for us tonight. Are we looking?
That's not the real reason.
No?
The real reason is because we want your take on the topic. We couldn't let such a juicy topic go by without having the Jason opinion live and direct. So that's what it is. And we thought it was such an interesting topic. There's more to flesh out. But definitely we want the Jason's opinion.
All right, that's how it's going. I mean, so much so. On Kat and Mitch, I want to thank you guys for standing. You did a good job.
Yes.
And
You're not coming back though.
But the amount of times I heard my name called.
Mm-hmm.
Man, listen, if I had $1 for each time, I'd have been able to take me and Cheryl out for lunch.
Yes.
And you guys, and I didn't know whether to be offended or to be honored. But anyway, but my name was a little bit of both. Yeah, that's how I think it is too. So we are talking about insecurities in relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And we talking, like Cheryl, I watched the show and you said, somebody asked why we talk about relationships so much.
Mm-hmm.
My relationships, like you said, it affects all of us and everybody.
Yes.
Everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So we can't run from it. And we talk about it so much because we want to do it right.
Yes.
The more we talk about it, hopefully somebody would either give us some good advice or we give some good advice to help those out there.
Exactly.
Because there's nothing in this life we can do without relationships. Nothing.
Exactly.
None of us are an island to ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Each of us needs somebody. So why not talk about it to do it right?
Yes. And like I was saying, if our relationships are not working, then we're not working properly. We're not functioning, either not in our right headspace emotionally or whatever, and it affects people around us. So it's good for us to be in healthy relationships that are working for us.
Correct. And a lot of us in the right headspace.
True.
Plenty of us think we are, but we ain't.
Yes.
Plenty of us mess up inside the head. And listen, if you sit down and actually sit down long enough and some quiet time, you'll really see who you are.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of us, unfortunately, don't do that. But that's another show.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it could lead into this one. Because some of these things could lead into insecurities.
That's true. And a lot of times when we have insecurity, and I think I mentioned it last week, a lot of times when we have insecurity in relationship, it's because we are insecure.
Definitely.
And like you said, a long look in the mirror, some hard questions at ourselves will help us to kind of walk through. And it's important that we become self-aware.
Most definitely.
We should become self-aware because a lot of these things we take and we throw it at other people.
Yes.
We get into the relationships and other people they get the brunt of it and they're affected by it. So it's important for us to deal with our personal insecurities.
Most definitely. Before we continue this conversation, we want to hear from you all.
Yes.
So call us at 352-8255 or join us on the chat. And the chat is live. While we were going through all the difficulties, just that man, the chat just had us cracking right up. So guys, we want you all to continue to support us. We have the best viewers, so continue to support us with your views and comments and join us on the chat. But we love to hear from you. We want to hear your take on it. So call us at 352-8255 and like, subscribe, and share. So back onto these insecurities, and the definition of insecure, or what it is to be insecure. It's saying, well, quite frankly, not feeling secure. that's what it is, right?
Yes.
Not feeling secure, and a lot of us walk around feeling this way, and we put on a brave face, like we got it all together, because we don't want to let anybody know that we lack it.
Yeah.
Because we're perfect.
Right.
We don't need the help of
We
nobody.
like
And if it's the problem with somebody else.
Mhm.
And that's the insecurity right there in itself.
Right, because it's a sign of weakness, and we don't want to appear weak.
Yes.
And I know a part of the definition of insecurity too is being anxious or having fear or mistrust about certain things. And I think a lot of us have that. Some of us can deal with it, because I don't think there's any relationship that is totally void of some form of insecurity.
Correct.
But communication and trust helps you to avoid pitfalls that kind of insecurity may cause you to fall into.
Yes.
Because there aren't any perfect relationships, and so these will be some of the challenges. But it's important, like I said, to communicate with your spouse.
And another definition, you mentioned anxiety, because it says uncertainty or anxiety about oneself, but it also says lack of confidence.
Yes, definitely.
Lack of confidence. Because if you ain't confident in a certain area, you definitely be insecure about it.
Right.
If I'm not confident in how I look,
yes,
most definitely when I go out, in public, wherever, I'm always thinking somebody will be looking at me in a certain way, judging me, and it causes me to shy away, or maybe go opposite. I might lash out.
Yes.
Because I'm insecure.
Yes.
And we find that played out in relationships. When we have a lack of confidence in a certain area in our relationship, we tend to either withdraw or lash out. Many of us don't know how to address these insecurities correctly.
That's true.
And that's like, I think I was meant to say, it might be a cat, but one of the guys said it, they like to talk it out. They like to
May have been me who said
communicate.
it. That sounds very smart. Sounds like something I would say.
Yes. Okay. Yes. So, but anyway, so it says to talk it out and try to address it properly. But rather than that, we like to lay it at the feet of somebody else. We like to blame. Oh no, it ain't me. You're the reason I have this insecurity.
Yes.
So you fix this.
That's true.
And that's so wrong. We come into the relationship broken, and we want
some of us do. Yes.
We want the other person to fix that.
But sometimes some insecurities are caused by the other person.
Yes.
It could be in a former relationship that you bring to this new relationship, or it could be an insecurity. Like for example, if someone was unfaithful to you, that may cause you to feel insecure about the relationship. Of course, you'll develop maybe a lack of trust towards the person, but it may cause you to feel inadequate in yourself.
Yes.
You may feel, okay, maybe there's something wrong with me. Why did he look on the outside? Why did he look towards someone else? Is it me physically? Is it me intellectually? Is it me? And so that could cause someone to be insecure. So it's important though that in any situation, we have to communicate to the person that we decide to be with what it is, how we're feeling, what we're insecure about. And sometimes they can help us, and sometimes the help has to come from within. But sometimes it can come from that person helping you to feel confident and secure in how they feel about you, or even in the relationship itself.
Correct. I agree with you, Cheryl. I want to add something to that. Or just ask you, should we go into the relationship looking for somebody else to try to help us out of our insecurities?
No. I was saying if the insecurity was caused in that relationship.
Right.
If let's say something happened in that relationship
right.
that caused
okay.
that person to feel insecure.
So now they need to secure you because they put you in a position of insecurity or make you feel insecure. Okay, agree. But still,
in all those situations, though, the person has to do the work with self.
Yes.
There will always be work to be done with self. If you're the one feeling insecure, sometimes it doesn't matter what the other person does. They may never be able to make you feel secure about that relationship, and you have to do the work with you.
But that's true, Sharon. I cannot secure you. I don't care what I did to you.
Mm-hmm.
I can try to help you see past whatever I did, but that's a personal decision to allow my
I agree.
Whatever I do to it's like trust.
Right.
You choose to trust someone. Somebody can't make you. You can't. Nobody can make you trust them.
Well, if you break the trust, then I'm going to need your help to rebuild
Yes.
the trust.
Yes, but it's still the ball still is totally in your court on whether you trust that person again. That means meaning that whether you accept what they're doing to make the trust come back.
Well, that part,
it's totally up to you.
That part.
It's totally up to you. Your feelings is totally 100% under your control. Nobody else's control. Your feelings. And we cannot blame other people for our feelings or how we react. We react because we react that way. That's the way we choose to react.
No,
now they can
a person breaks the trust in the relationship. Because when you're talking about a relationship, you're talking about two persons.
Right.
So if the person breaks the trust in the relationship, they're still responsible. They're responsible to you to help you to build that trust again.
But I know I'm not running from that. I'm saying that on the other end, right? Nobody can control your feelings.
Right. I agree with that part.
So we don't know what's going on in your head. As we can do all we can to make you love us, make us trust us again, make you feel secure. But the ball is still within your court to accept what your partner's doing, to let it influence which way you're gonna go. Because your emotions are totally under your control. And only your control. You choose when you get angry. Because I could punch you and you'd be like, Jason, stop playing. Or you could, Jason, stop playing. You choose how you react. Now, we can help influence those reactions by what we do, but the ball's still totally in your court and how you receive and react to it. And that's for everything in life. Now, that's too black and white because it ain't everything that easy, but it's still, that's what it boils down to. So my insecurities, whether you put them there or not, it's still me having to fix them. Now I might need your help. And whether you help me or not, I still can fix my insecurities. I can fix them by staying with you and working, letting you allow me to work with, or I can leave and go work on myself and fix those insecurities. But a lot of insecurities we carry around with us, we take over into relationships and we don't address them before we start a new relationship.
That's true.
Almost, I don't know the stats, but I would say almost 100% of our insecurities are from past relationships.
I don't think
almost
100%, Jason. I have to see the stats. Cat had his laptop.
Yeah, boy, see, that's a science guy. Mr. Science got on his keyboard and typed it.
Jason Jr.
Cat got his stuff down together. But, Sharon, a lot of the insecurities. So,
and sometimes these are the things that cause the relationships. Sometimes insecurities break relationships.
Most definitely.
Because like you said before, they're not addressed properly. They're not addressed, and I think in every situation though, even if it's something that affects the relationship and persons together, I think that individual must do that work on themselves.
Yes.
Because most insecurities affect you personally.
Yes.
It's a very personal issue that must be addressed.
And that's why I said it's up to you, me, to
but it must be communicated though, because let's say, and I think we talked about this last week as well, if someone coming into the relationship, you need to talk about your past. Talk about your past. And if the female would have talked about the past, maybe the past could have been a relational issue, infidelity. The guy, maybe his past would have been maybe some financial insecurity. Once they communicate this issue, then if they see this on the horizon in their relationship, then that's something that they can address. And I think that will allow them to be a little more respectful of their partner, to know, okay, this thing my wife or my husband is insecure about. If I do this, it's going to trigger that insecurity. So I need to not do that out of love and respect for my partner.
Correct. Something you said on the last show what I agree with.
No, maybe that's one thing. Point one.
She said our insecurities come from past relationships, right? And I told you we are products of our environment. We are what is it? A sum of what our experiences.
Yes. Wherever you go, you're taking you with you.
how we when we are confident, when we are insecure, self-aware, unaware, whatever it is, how we deal with
all of that is projected.
Right, conflict resolution.
Right.
All this came from our relationships, the environment we grew up in. So those things need to be addressed. We haven't been taught how to even see them. You know, because some of us see it as this is how we are. You know, and you just can deal with it.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with this is me. This is me. You get what you get.
I real and you know, you just work it out. But they don't know they aren't ready to accept that, hey, this is causing a problem that, hey, I am actually the problem with this insecurity.
Yes.
We don't see this. You know, we this other person, you causing me to lash out this way. You causing me to,
right.
You know, brother. If I do the same thing to another person, they ain't gonna react the way you react. They may just laugh it off and brush me off. Oh, Jason, you stupid, eh? But because I do it to you and because of the past relationship, whether it was your
it triggers,
it's a trigger, whether it was your parents, whether it was a romantic relationship, whether it was in school, whether it was on the job.
Right.
You took it around, and because now it looks familiar, now you got to protect yourself so it doesn't happen again. And you react the wrong way.
Yes.
So we have to take time to actually see ourselves and know that we actually are flawed.
Yes.
We're flawed. True. We got garbage in us and we have insecurities. And like you say, just about everybody has an insecurity. Some insecurity. There's none of us that are 100% confident. But we'll continue this conversation right after this quick commercial break. Stick around.
The commercial break, we might not get our...
Where you going, mate?
To go buy these tickets for the party tonight.
Why this boy so dumb?
Tickets242.com.
You know how hard it is?
They sell tickets for parties, concerts, plays, sporting events, everything.
You know how expensive bus is?
Well, if you just buy the tickets online, they could just send you it in the email. Then you could just print it off.
You know how strong mosquitoes is?
Or you could go to the box office downtown at the Genesis Street Gear.
You ain't scared of June 8th.
I'm Flynn Daxon from Nose Witness News, reporting live from Sniper Paintball City. We're here with the manager and he's going to tell us what they have to offer.
Daddy, I got Sniper Paintball. We have paintball, cornhole, mini golf, batting cage.
Strike!
That's not a strike.
So come on down every Saturday and Sunday to Sniper Paintball City, located next to Crosstown, where you and the family can have a great time.
See you at Sniper.
One is hard to subjective times in different ways.
Yes.
Somebody might seem overly confident and
yes.
they're actually, that's an insecurity that they're trying to hide.
Yes, yes.
But before we continue with that, let's take Priska Hunt. She said, my thing is, in a relationship, you should be able to be vulnerable and share your insecurities with them. If you can't do so, both parties need to reevaluate the relationship.
I agree.
I agree with 100%, yes.
Jay John says, insecurity caused man sitting in the bush, getting bite from mosquitoes and sandflies. Saying that for...
I don't understand what that means, sitting in the bush getting bite from
what?
mosquitoes.
Roach on your bread, you can't... What do you say?
So he's just there like going...
No, you watching to see who coming in and out of the house.
Oh.
To see if she actually...
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Trust me. When it comes to headspace, woman problems and car problems, I don't wish on my worst enemy. I with you. I am with you.
And here we go. Historically, governments, hospitals, school systems, defense, all the liberties both women and men enjoy currently in the best time in human history was paved by men.
Yes.
I think he's responding to some of the
yes.
right.
Sprinkle in Eve, Delilah, and Cheryl.
You know, and I spoke so well of Kat. Oh my God.
Kat.
Trust me.
Watch it, Kat.
I'm telling you, watch your back. I know where you live, and even if I don't know, I'm going to know by the end of tonight. Should I be threatening him? And
No, see, that's just how you give yourself away. And I thought women were the smarter ones, just threatening the man on live. So, Kat, I hope nothing happens to you, Cheryl, because you get locked up.
All right.
But
carry on.
Yes, carrying on. But I lost my train of thought. That was a shots fired. Shots were fired. So back on the insecurities. Yes, we can contribute to a person's insecurities, but before we contribute, move on, people contribute to their insecurities. I want to address our insecurities first.
Okay.
I really think we need to take time to address our hurt, our relation, our talk, because each just got a little level of that.
Yes.
Some got more than the rest, right? So we got to take moments to address those. We don't like to do that. We don't like to sit still long enough and just be quiet and just listen to ourselves and just listen to the thoughts that are driving us and
you mean personally? Or you mean individually?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So we just jump from one relationship to the next.
Yes.
So we hoping that somebody else help medicate us from the pain or the insecurity that the other person placed inside us.
And we're not talking about the new thing with women, date yourself now. We're not talking about, because we're talking about spending time alone with yourself enough to learn weaknesses are and learn to address them. And some of us, we need to talk things through with a professional.
Almost definitely.
A lot. We don't put a lot of stock into that. We don't put the value into it because of our culture. But I think that's something we need to lean to, not because it's now more socially acceptable, but because of what is happening. And Kat would have shared, my new enemy, would have shared the stats on suicide with males, last week. And I think it's something definitely to start paying attention. We need to start having conversations with professionals, persons who can help us to work through these things.
Most definitely. These things pile up on us, and we've been taught, men, I'm saying we, men have been taught, that man up, take it in, man, don't complain, and and just roll with the punches. You got broad shoulders, just live it up. And not live it up, walk it out. Walk it off. Get up, brush it off, and walk it off. But those things build up, and when we internalize them, at some point they can come out. And they come out in our relationships.
They do.
And they manifest themselves, and that's when the triggers come in. Because now we be like, hold on, I'm not gonna allow this to happen again. It happened in the last relationship. I didn't address it, and I ain't gonna let them run over me again. I ain't gonna let them speak to me this way. I'm not gonna let them do this to me, whatever it is, and then we fly off the handle.
So let me just ask you this: do you think this is one of the reasons that would cause males to look outside of the relationship too? But I guess we could get into if the females in their lives is causing them either, if it could be emotional insecurity or financial insecurity, one who makes them feel more of a man, so to speak.
Most definitely, yes. A man would go where he's respected. He can get that peace and that support and respect.
Right.
He'll go there. He'll continue looking for it. That's when they're dating. I feel, however, married men, he may look outside, but he won't leave. He may look outside for that, what he's not getting at home, but he'll stay in the marriage where a woman has more or less leave.
Right. Because then that is definitely supported by statistics. That women are the ones who more than often will file for divorce.
Correct.
Than a guy. Yes. And
go ahead.
I think I lost my thoughts.
So these insecurities, we need to address them properly. And like you say, seek counseling or talk to somebody, get it off your chest and find the right ways to decompress.
Right.
Unpack these things, what making us feel this way. We've been programmed, all of us have been programmed to think a certain way. And like I say, our experiences, our environments program us, every one of us, to think a certain way and expect certain things from our partners, and even from our jobs and from ourselves.
Right.
And we need to sit down and actually say, okay, now is the way we think and where we program, is it right? Is it healthy? Is it realistic? And if it isn't, then we need to find those right avenues. And for me, finding those right avenues was with God, because society tells us so many different things, and it changes so much on what a man is supposed to be, what a man's supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
You have this thing, I heard Kat mention on social media now, got this long list, and I saw it of what a
Yes,
how much he's supposed to make it.
was not
If
aware.
he's driving, if he wears this certain clothes, or if he says this thing, he's not a man. If he doesn't make this amount of money, he's not a man. If he isn't working this, and so much things they're dictating, saying what a man is. I haven't met a woman yet who knows what a man is. She don't know what it is to be a man. She can say what she wants in a man.
Right.
So we shouldn't be taking our cues. Yes.
Okay, I thought it was.
Just as a man should
Man.
tell a woman.
I agree.
There is a standard
Right.
for both men and women.
That's standard.
That's the-
Exactly.
So if we want to build up our confidence, we want to secure ourselves, we look to see what we measure up ourselves against that. If we see we moving towards that, then we can have confidence.
Right.
You know, I still have some insecurities. There's some things I know I could do better, so I hope to do better. But my level of confidence now at my age compared to what I was at my 30s, you say arrogant. You say arrogant.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
how
saying that already.
that's how confident I am in myself, you know? Because
Well, confidence is good. Confidence
Right.
is good. Lack of confidence, that's where a lot of people, and that's a huge insecurity, lack of confidence,
right.
especially for men. But I wanted to say though, Jason, I think women and men react differently when we're insecure.
Yes.
And you'll find a lot of times it's hard to detect the real insecurity, because most times we have the same response, no matter how, no matter what the insecurity is that we're dealing with. And I think a lot of men withdraw. Would you agree with that? That a lot of men withdraw when they're dealing, regardless of what it is.
I think so, yeah. Insecurities and I say it again. I'm right about to them.
I don't know why.
They said a lot of things. They just for peace, we tend to withdraw and just go into our club and be like, boy, if I react right now, it's
Right.
going
Yeah,
to
I
be
remember
worse.
Kat did say that.
So a lot of us do that, and just so we don't make things worse. Some of us have that self-control, some of us don't. But we withdraw and we go into our shell and we be like, and we start looking and wonder, what if I make the right decision?
But okay, what is the responsibility of one spouse when they notice that the other spouse is insecure about something? What responsibility do you think that other spouse holds?
The other responsibility, because they're now one. Now we're talking about spouses now. I ain't talking about boyfriend and girlfriend. Because they're now
people
one.
who are in a relationship.
Okay,
let's just
relationship.
say,
Well, see, spouses have a little higher responsibility, obligation,
I
other than
agree
just
with
dating.
that. But let's just say, because I think even if you're dating and you have decided you're seriously dating, you should things, because the end goal is to get to
Right,
spouses.
spouse
Yes. So
status.
people who are in serious relationships, then let's put it that
Okay,
way.
I think it's still, if you say serious relationship, I'll hold that to the same level as a spouse, because that's
Right.
where they're aspiring to be. So I think it's 100% their responsibility to help address that insecurity. It's not 100% their responsibility for the insecurity, but it's 100% their responsibility to help address that insecurity properly, to help them unpack it and then try to secure their spouse. Because if their spouse or the person who they're dating is insecure, that's going to transfer over into the relationship.
Into the relationship, yes.
And if you two are one or aspiring to be one, that means you're hurting yourself. So you would want to be whole. So you should do all you could to address that insecurity. And your partner might not be able to. Now it's on you to find the best way to bring that. I notice that you lack in confidence, or you are a bit anxious, or I see you get triggered, and when this particular topic comes up, Why do you think that is?
Mhm.
You know, let's see how we
Start the
can
conversation.
address that.
Okay.
But we'll continue this conversation when we get back. We have to take another commercial break. So and we're back. We got comments. We got some questions in the chat, and we have comments. So we can take comments first. Go ahead.
Okay. Our Priska says, if you are afraid, that's a sign you're not truly ready for a real relationship. But relationships require vulnerability,
Mhm.
which is really, really true.
Yes.
And but I think sometimes even the fear can be worked through. Sometimes these things happen about from one relationship. There are times when people are so broken and so hurt from past relationships that it cripples them from entering new relationship. That's why it's so good to do the work first.
Yes.
Spend
Yes.
time alone before you jump from one relationship to another. J. John? Go ahead.
J. John says, in most cases, everyone tries to put on their best version of themselves, holding back on communicating their insecurities in fear of chasing the other person away. And that is so true.
Especially in the beginning.
In the beginning, yes, because we got to put up this front that
Mhm.
hey, we got it all together.
But I think so a lot of times, though, we have to watch the person. We have to be so observant because a lot of times you will see things when the person is not talking.
Correct.
That's when you will see. And a lot of times we have to the eyes use our emotions.
Mhm.
But in the beginning, when everything is sweet and lovey-dovey and we're going through the honeymoon phase, we only see and hear what we want to, and we don't
Most
want to
definitely.
address the tough things. But if we
Yeah.
open up our eyes, we can see these things
Yes.
and
yes.
ask the real tough questions. Priska says women might not
Could
say
say
what a man is, might not be able to say what a man is, but we for sure know what a man isn't.
How do you
She's
know?
correct.
How do you know what a man isn't?
A woman. A man isn't a woman.
Man isn't a woman. That's correct.
Right? So we know, okay, if there's certain things that mirror us,
Mm-hmm.
and we know that, okay, that's me, that's not you.
But you all say you want an emotional man.
We didn't say
See
emotional. We want a man who shows emotion. That doesn't mean an emotional man.
Okay, you all
There's
want a
a
man to
big
show
difference.
emotions. Okay, so you all want him to show emotion, but you all want him to show it when you all wanted to show it.
No, we want him to be true to his feelings and not feel that he cannot be vulnerable around us. That's what we want. Not that he's gonna be emotional.
And who
But
makes
be
him
real.
feel that he can feel that way around you?
It's well, like you were saying earlier, it's 100% him.
No.
It's up to him how he's Jason. I'm going to quote Jason when he said, "You are 100% responsible for your own feelings."
Yes, my
So
how he react.
feels,
How he react.
how
Yeah,
he feels.
yes.
If he feels he can show emotion, that's how he feels.
Yes, and I said
If
we
he-
help.
if
We
he-
help.
if
We
he-
help.
You can
Oh no, I did say that. Don't finish. I did say that.
You
But
can
finish
help
what I
it.
say. Finish what I
But
say.
it's up to him. It's up to him.
It's up to him. So you know responsible
It's
for
up to him.
creating a safe space so that he can show this.
And like you would have said earlier, it doesn't matter what space I create.
Oh.
It's up to him. I love to quote Jason.
Oh, that's why I
Jay
say
John
go to
said-
everything. Say everything I say. Don't say peace.
There are a lot of people that are broken from past relationships, and the buried pain of the brokenness is expressed in lashing out
Yes.
in different ways.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, most definitely.
Absolutely. But sadly, though, when we're in love, we forgive these things. And in the beginning, we forgive these things and we overlook them. And these things cause issues later on.
Because we didn't properly address them.
Exactly.
You know, we just slide them. And I don't know if you'll say if you're in love. Because in love, we're supposed to forgive.
No. That's why we forgive to
Okay,
overlook.
okay.
We overlook these things. I'm not saying these aren't necessarily deal breakers for the relationship. But if they're not addressed, they can cause the relationship.
Yeah.
So it's important to address these things in the beginning because someone with an insecurity can still be in a wholesome relationship. We alluded to the fact that we all have some kind of insecurity.
Yes, we do.
So just because it exists doesn't mean that the person can't be loved and show
Right.
love.
Right. And it all comes down to maturity. You first, it has to start with yourself, right? You have to know, be able to know yourself and see yourself and not put the burden on another person.
True.
And then when you do find this other person, you got to make sure that other person is worthy of you. Because ain't everybody you invite in worthy to be there, worth
That's
being
true.
there. So you got to make sure that person is worthy of being there. So you have to sit and be able to speak and talk and communicate. And like you say, see what you need to see if this person will be able to actually help me.
Yes.
Help me, because you know you got to recognize you need help.
Right.
So you got to see if are they able to help me? Are they willing to help me?
And if they can't, let's
Move
say
on.
if exactly you need to make that tough decision and move on no matter how you
Right.
feel.
Move
Because
on.
if you are starting a relationship with someone and you notice that a lot of things they do, habitual things that they do, trigger your insecurity, then you're not going to be happy in that relationship.
Nope.
But sometimes we know that this is not
This ain't
going
the
to
right
work.
one. Yeah.
This is not.
We invest time, money, whatever, some emotion. So now we don't let go. But it's best to leave, cut
go.
losses rather well in sorrow. So LaShawn asked, if you, does it look like in insecure. Now, men, I can speak from the men's side. We have some of our insecurities would be not measuring up to what the idea of a man is. Because there's a big idea of what a man is. And if you don't know what a real man is and you're trying to attain that, that could make you feel insecure because now, hey, I know I ain't measuring up. She probably see that. She can look at me less. So that's one, not measuring up to the idea of a man. And then another one, financial,
Right.
like you alluded to in this show, men are to be providers. So if we feel that, hey, we're not making enough finances to take care of our family, we then will feel insecure. We feel away. And guess what? You have some women who will actually say that.
Yes.
You ain't man enough. You can't even. And so he's already feeling that,
Yes.
and you need to go make this money, bring this in here because we need this and that. And she put all that on him. And so now he has the idea of a man that he has to listen to do this. Right. So that's two. And I don't know, physically we are insecure about our looks because we don't really have all that. I don't think, not much men I know really insecure about their physical looks. No, I don't know much men who are, unless it's really extreme.
Okay.
Really extreme. So it's the what else is there? That's all I get right now for our insecurities. And then then relationships being cheated on. And I guess that's for both men and
have
women.
that too?
Yeah.
Insecurity? Okay.
Yeah, because
I know for women. I mean, were you done?
No, this is an important one, which I did not address until later in life. Fear of rejection or abandonment.
Abandonment, not rejection. Men should be
Rejection
used to being rejected.
See there? Boom! This woman gold. This woman gold.
No, I'm just saying because
we should be used to being rejected.
In terms of, you guys are the chasers.
Why?
So
why?
Permission to speak freely.
Speak freely.
It's only an opinion. I could be wrong, and if I am wrong, let me know, and I will say it on live. No, I'm not. No, but I'm saying it. So I'm asking genuinely. So men, rejection is an insecurity for them. Okay.
Yes.
I'm just used to men having the
Listen,
okay. So she says no, laugh it off, move on, and just
listen. So she has so many suitors, and she can just knock them down left, right, and center. No,
what I'm saying is,
and they should be used to me telling them no.
That usually that's the impression I get. Maybe it's from TV. Hollywood has taught me wrong.
Listen, but anyway, rejection.
Okay.
Men are fear of rejection.
And you said
abandonment and abandonment. It comes from not having that father. And women need their fathers in the home. I mean, girls need their fathers, but boys don't have that. So we don't have that male to look up to. And sometimes we feel that we don't have that because he left because he didn't want to be around us.
Mm.
He isn't because we don't have that. We don't have him to reference.
Okay, what a man should be, how
Right.
a man should be.
And so you wonder, you question yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, am I doing this right?
Right.
Why didn't he stick around to tell us? So, and you're used to him not being there or him letting you down.
Right.
So you now have this insecurity now that everyone will let you down.
Mm.
So now you take on the world by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to open up to know anybody because they might not be there to help follow up.
Right.
Because your dad wasn't there. He let you down. He's the first man to let you down in life. So now you got to see if I can do this right.
Interesting.
Some of us go the opposite direction and say, I am not going to be like my dad.
Mm-hmm.
I can do this right.
Mm-hmm.
So we struggle with this idea of trying to do it right. Then some just give up. Man, he was in nothing. I don't have nothing an example, so I might as well be the same way. This is what I want. And that's the insecurity because we know deep down inside that ain't the way to go. But we don't have nothing to reference. So now we like, why? She probably looking at me that way. But too bad. That's how man is.
Okay.
Or she looking at me this way.
That's interesting. I never thought about, I would have never heard that put like that because I know, I mean, as it relates to men. So it's good to hear these things from men because only a man can express that the way that you would or any other man who would have called the show. But I was going to use that as one of the insecurities for women. Women who don't grow up with fathers in their home. And this is the first man who wants to love you unconditionally. Mm-hmm. So a woman who doesn't have that goes into a relationship with a certain expectation. Now, they too, if she doesn't have, one who doesn't have, she's looking, she's expecting, she's not sure what she's measuring that up against, but they expect that kind of love. And I think, and that's why, you talked about a father being important in a man's life, but a father is very important in a girl's life because he's the first man who should show her how she should be loved by another man, and that's why it's so important, and that's why emotional security is so important for women because the first person they get that emotional security from is their dad, and so. Usually when a woman has been cheated on, it's really hard. The healing after that is so important for her to get a grasp on before moving into another relationship because you take that hurt with you. So I think too, and that's a major insecurity, one of the insecurities that women face, the emotional insecurity. We do have the physical insecurity as well, where we expect, we want to look a certain way. Society has taught us. I know that has changed now into body positivity. That's the movement now. So it doesn't matter what you look. You can wear whatever you want to wear, and you can. I see Jason. You know what? You can, and you love yourself. And so while that, while we do have our opinions on that is, I think that could be a very positive thing. Because a lot of women have been so insecure over the years when we don't have the look of a Hollywood model. So now women are taught to love themselves. So that's the physical insecurity. And like I would have shared earlier, if your spouse would have cheated on you, the first thing you want to know is what the female looks like. Because you want to compare yourself, and we do that a lot. We compare ourselves to other females, and it's not even just about compare ourselves to our female friends in terms of beauty or shape and all of that. So the physical security is a big thing for women. So that's the physical, the emotional, financial security is important too. You're in a relationship. A lot of women, they expect to be in a relationship where they feel secure with their spouse as it relates to still take care of you if you're both able to take care of each other. And a woman worries about that. It doesn't mean that she doesn't have a trust in him, but she wants to feel secure in that relationship, that the relationship can financially take care of both of them and their future. Because most times when we're always planning. And so that it's important for us to understand or believe that our future is taken care of financially.
I get that. Thing of insecurities, right? And I agree with that. Many women struggle with this physical insecurities, right? And do you feel that comes from other women or men that make them feel insecure?
It could come from both.
I know it could come from both, but your feeling.
I think one of the main thing is from other women. I think it's more from other women. We compare ourselves to other women a lot, and sometimes we're a bit harsh with each other. Women, we talk about, and I think it's one of I think nowadays society has it that everything is excused. So we're saying tough love and whatever is our love language. People say that, so they could just go and talk to you bad and say that's my love language.
Right.
So we're harsh with each other. You talk about your body parts, in negative ways, and so I'm not gonna tell you that, man. You keep saying that about me. I feel a little insecure. I'm not gonna say that, but I'm gonna laugh it off. But inside, I'm like, I need to do something about it. And it could be a positive thing, or it could be a negative thing that affects me. But I think we become more insecure from other women.
I that's why I wanted to hear you say it, because I don't want you to think I attack, but the insecurity most women face is from y'all women just cannibalize each other.
Yeah,
y'all make yourself feel that way, and y'all have these high
sometimes.
standards on each other, and y'all and you know how you feel about yourself, and you would do that same thing to another woman.
Yes.
And I for the life of me, I don't understand that.
Yes.
You don't like other women talking about you, but you would sit and talk about another woman, and I think,
yes.
Women
serious. Do that, yes.
So these insecurities, but we have these insecurities, and we now looking for 100% for our partner to fix it. Without our help, it's their responsibility. We're putting it all on them now.
No, we shouldn't. We can't do that. But the thing is, because we have them, for example, you're with your spouse and you feel physically insecure. You're with him and you see someone that looks attractive and you're watching his eyes. And that causes an issue. You're projecting on him,
right.
And the man could be innocent.
Yes.
He could not be looking at the female at all. But I'm just saying that sometimes that your personal insecurity affects the relationship or affects the other person.
Right, and he has to be conscious. And the Bible says, dwell with your wife in understanding, right?
Absolutely. So,
and that needs to go both ways, right? So he has to be, like you say, he could be totally innocent. But he also has to be aware that, okay, I know this is one of my wife's triggers.
So I have to be,
I have to make sure. She has to
I agree.
Listen, I know I'm ridiculous. So he's innocent. That's my problem now. Let me not take it out on him. But I'm not saying that mature. We looking for another person to fix us.
Yes.
We ain't fixing ourselves because we perfect. It's her fault.
Yes.
That I lashed. His that I lashed. So many of us put the burden on the other person. Sean asks, where do we draw the line between insecurity and demanding accountability, which sometimes could appear as insecurity? Where do we draw the line between insecurity and demanding accountability, which could sometimes appear as insecurity? Checking on our spouse. Where are you? Just an example. Checking up on your spouse. Where are you? What time you'll be home? So now
that could be an insecurity, or it could be. The thing is, people who love you respect you, and letting someone know where you are is a sign of respect. So your spouse should be more than willing to give you that information when you ask them where they are or what time they're going to be home. That's actually, I think that's information that should have been volunteered.
Correct.
But there are going to be times when you have to ask, and that should be an easy conversation. However, it could be a sign of insecurity if it becomes an issue because the person forgot. And let's say you ask, what time are you going to be home? I didn't see the message. And then by the time I get to the message, it becomes a big argument and a constant argument that becomes hard to resolve.
Right.
Then that needs to be a different conversation.
It's an underlying something. That's just a fruit from a tree or
Right.
was growing a long time ago. And it all depends on the delivery too, you know.
That's true. Yeah.
It's
I
the
agree.
intention and your intent,
Mhm.
how you deliver, how you
Mhm.
ask, you know.
Mhm.
So if you didn't have an issue in the past
Mhm.
and they ask you this question, you ain't gonna worry about answering it.
Exactly.
Now,
That's
so
true.
so
Yes.
this could be an issue from the past. Now,
Yeah.
or
for
then-
either person.
right. So now, if you know the person I dated prior
Mhm.
was a very
Control
friendly
freak,
person,
or- yeah,
friendly
or-
person, and they had an
Yeah.
issue with being accountable at that time, and I'm dating you, or
Mhm.
I'm seriously dating you, and
Mhm.
and I ask, but see, I should have let you know my problem in the last relationship.
Mm.
So if you hear me ask you, it's because yes, I am struggling with my insecurities, but I want you to help me.
Mhm.
I want you to help me secure me,
Mhm.
because that's why I'm asking, because you're doing something that looks familiar.
Yes.
I don't want to beat you, but I
Yeah.
need you to reassure me.
Right.
So it's both ways. But again,
And that's an honest conversation. But
Right.
usually, the conversation doesn't go like
No.
that, Jason.
no.
Why you can't tell me where you are? You
Yeah.
supposed to this, that, you supposed
Yeah.
just let me know where you are. What's the big deal? You
Yeah.
got something hiding.
Yeah.
And it goes on and on.
And that's all one question. That's right, in one breath.
sentence.
That's one breath. So she covered it
Hey,
in one
I
breath.
made that look too.
Yeah, that's too natural just now. It was very organic. So we know, and you say all y'all got the same script.
Move on.
All y'all got the same script, and you said that. I watched the show, Cheryl.
Let me go. Let me get Cat and Nick's back. I don't know. Can't win for losing.
But seriously, so
Mhm.
but we all are broken people, and we don't want to admit that. We all carry on baggage and insecurities, and we don't want to admit that.
Yeah.
So and it causes problems in the future of our future relationships. We need to be able to be big enough people and sit down and say, hey, I have a problem. This
Yes.
this making me feel a way, and
Yeah.
say it without anger.
Yeah.
Don't wait for angry day. I mean,
Yeah.
for Rowdy to say it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, I agree.
some masters do that. And I ain't gonna point no fingers because I was guilty of that once or twice. You know, I wait for Rowdy to bring it up. So this show ain't about me and my flaws.
No.
We can take a commercial break and we'll be right back.
Welcome to Karen's Kitchen, where we specialize in Bahamian dishes, fried fish, crack conch, crab soup, and much more. We're located on Queens Highway next to GB Muffler. To order, call 441-4033.
Chuckle buy these tickets for the party tonight.
Why this boy so dumb?
Tickets242.com.
You know how hard it is?
They sell tickets for parties, concerts, plays, sporting events, everything.
You know how expensive bus is?
Well, if you just buy the tickets online, they could just send you it in the email. Then you could just print it off.
You know how strong mosquitoes is?
Or you could go to the box office downtown at the Genesis Street Gear.
You ain't scared of Joneses, they.
Anyway, let's go. And we're back talking about insecurities and relationships part 2. And we're going to jump right into our comments.
Priska. Oh, I love Priska's comments.
Mhm.
At the same time, when we admit certain things, the other person has the right to walk away and choose not to want to deal with it.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I agree. Person has to recognize they have a problem that has to be fixed. Most definitely.
Mhm.
I agree with that.
Yeah, that's true too. You
Cheryl.
are not wrong, Cheryl.
Cheryl on what?
On anything.
Okay.
Thanks. Thanks, Priska. Stop it, Jason. Rejection is part of manhood.
Oh, that's what she talking about. Oh, that's what it is. Oh, so but that leads me to this. So that's why women are so offended when they are rejected.
Yes, we're not used to it.
Oh,
We are definitely
it's
you're not used to it. When a woman ever rejected,
Really?
why should we ever be rejected? That's a different show. That's a different
The
show.
arrogance of you guys. I mean, think.
Yes.
Why should you
That is
reject
not
it?
our
Wow.
insecurity.
Hey, listen.
Women,
Bahamian men
don't-
got you all mixed right up.
I don't think
And
so.
I-
It's just the way of the world. I mean, naturally, men are chasers. So a woman is normally the one to do the rejecting.
Really?
Yes, that's usually how it is. Something changed? I'm not sure.
Well, Smith. That's real. Rejection is the root of a whole lot of our social issues. Thank you. Thank you, Thorell. So you all need to stop. You have a root. One of the roots of all social issues.
Listen. Don't.
Don't get that too much ammo. Get out the bike. And Terrell just said that's one of the roots to all our social issues. You're rejecting us.
Okay.
Men aren't.
Rejection is a natural part of the process
of life.
However,
yes.
now that we're aware, I was not aware that it was an insecurity for men because they handle it so well. So I didn't know that it was an insecurity. Now that I know that I'll
because she has so much men coming at her so
no, that's
often.
not the reason.
She now even have
I've
the time to put it into practice.
I've seen it.
You good.
Read the comments.
Hey John, I believe that nowadays with all the pressure from Instagram and Snap filters are feeding a lot of the insecurities along with society expectation. Yes, because we're getting all our information and all our pointers from social media.
That is true. Some of us do.
A lot of us.
And that's why too with females is that social media tells us how we need to look. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it affects men physically, but I know it affects women. And then and I think too the rejection comes a lot from social media for females because when we put ourselves out there, we expect the many likes. And we expect the comments. Mm-hmm. When we post a picture, we expect people to like it. We expect people to comment on those. And when they don't, even if sometimes people don't even have the time to see it, but we see it as rejection.
Social media messing up a lot of us. It's the work of the devil, right? Like I said, there's this laundry list of things that a man should do, and if he doesn't do this, reject him.
Right.
There's this laundry list and I don't know who did it. I think a guy did it. He's compiling all the different things. And I think he's up to almost like 500 and something things with women come on social media and say what isn't a man or what a man shouldn't have.
Wow.
Or what he shouldn't be. And if he has these, a woman should reject him. See, and it's lending into your saying rejecting men.
No, it's not. I'm going based on the traditional male, female.
Men chasing and women saying no.
Right,
all this stuff, right?
Right,
not
the social media aspect of it.
Not you. Mm-hmm. But social media is actually guiding these millennials and what's the before Generation X? Gen Z and millennials. Mm-hmm. That's guiding them. They're getting their cues from the social media.
That's
and which is
sad.
leading into all this insecurity. So here you have a list of these some silly girls will go on and actually go across the list and this is a decent guy, but because he check off one of these things on this, I'm gonna reject him.
And that's why it's important for our age, Jason, who have children who are Gen Zs, our kids,
right?
That we need to train them the right way, teach them the right thing.
Correct.
And sadly, I've never heard of that until they mentioned it last week. Never heard of it.
It's there. See, you're all old.
I think I'm not exposed enough with that. And I tell you one thing: if my daughter, that's a conversation that I'm going to have with her to see how she feels about that, because that's important.
Yes.
That we train our young women to think sensibly.
Yes.
As it relates to men.
So we're going to do our wrap up now.
Yes. You threw me off, but we're talking about insecurities in relationships, and it was a good conversation. Definitely. I'm glad we were able to have it this week. Mm-hmm. We did a part 2, but I just want to say that it's important to be self-aware. Yes. Be aware of you, what you're insecure about, what are the things that trigger you, and have a conversation if it's going to affect your relationship. Let your partner know what you're dealing with so that they can help you. And I'm sure any loving person who's aware of what it is that their spouse is going through will see fit to help them. And I think it's important because at the end of the day, you want your relationship to be successful. But if you are not successful as an individual, you are going to definitely negatively affect your relationship.
Most definitely. Well, to piggyback on what you say, be self-aware and stop. Don't go into your relationship and don't put the whole responsibility on your spouse or your seriously dating partner.
Right.
It's 100% your responsibility to how you receive it and get it fixed, and it's 100% their responsibility. Mm-hmm. And because you have insecurities, or you should be aware of your insecurities, you now need to be aware of your partner's insecurities, and offer them grace and offer them the support that over their insecurities. It's a two-way street. It's not all about you. It's not all about them. It's all about you guys. It's all about both of you. You help him or her, and she helps you.
Yeah.
You know, hand go, hand come.
Yes.
And something I watched. Men and women have a lot of these back and forth because we speak different languages. And the problems happen because we refuse, or we aren't, not that we can't, we aren't willing to put ourselves in their shoes. We aren't willing to put ourselves in their shoes to see it their way. And if each partner does that, we'll be able to help each other
I agree.
better. And these relationships will win.
Yep.
So, this has been a very good Let's Talk.
Yes.
Apart from the little glitches we had, we are glad we stuck to it, and we're glad you guys stuck
Stay
with us.
Yes.
We enjoyed the conversation, we enjoyed your comments, and so we're glad to have you, and we hope to see you back again next time here on Let's Talk.
Okay. Good night.
Good night, guys. Great show.